Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. If you've been following this body of work for even a short amount of time, then you are keenly aware that this world is merely a simulacrum of true reality, an absurd farce filled with demonic hordes of masquerading deceivers who are not ever what they actually present themselves to be. This entire performance, this charade, this mockery is carried out for the purpose of beguiling the world into devotion, adoration, and worship of the father of lies, the devil himself, and his Antichrist.
I want to
Christian God is the one and only true living God, the creator of heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ is God. Jesus Christ is God. You are Antichrist.
You ever notice how after almost every orchestrated ritual event, there is a slogan or phrase that goes along with that ritual? Remember, after the mass shooting at Charlie Hebdo, the world was inundated with the phrase, Je suis Charlie, which meant, I am Charlie.
France's president called Paris the capital of the world.
In Paris, they gathered in Place de la République, around its monument to the founding principles of the French Republic: liberty, equality, and fraternity. And then, a line of world leaders leading the way, arms linked, they marched. A powerful display of solidarity, among them the Israeli Prime Minister and the Palestinian President.
On this day, we are all French citizens.
It was a theme carried by millions, with crowds singing the national anthem and shouting, "Long live France," and a new national slogan, "We are Charlie."
You may recall that the word Charlie actually means free man. Thus, this phrase actually meant, I am a free man. And it was meant to point to the setting free or releasing of the king of the bottomless pit, Abaddon or Apollyon. We saw this same narrative put forth with NBA star Kyrie Irving, whose name means Christ,
and it's a title given to Christ, Philippians 2:11.
And the Virgin as a reference to Mystery Babylon, who rides the beast that rises from the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the shoes that he wore, which had the words, I'm free, on them. We also saw this through Kanye's Donda release party, where he sang, I'm free as well. Remember, Donda is also a shortened version of the name Abaddon, the Destroyer, the King of the Bottomless Pit. As always, the importance of Kanye being from Chicago and the fact that he posed as the false Messiah should not be overlooked. Since the Charlie Hebdo shooting, we have seen these types of slogans pop up almost after every event. After the mass shooting at Sandy Hook, there were the slogans, Pray for Newtown and Never Forget. After the mass shooting at Stoneman Douglas, there was the phrase, Parkland Strong or MSD Strong. Following the mass shooting at Robb Elementary, the phrase, Uvalde Strong and Enough was used. Now, after this incident with Damar Hamlin, the world is being bombarded with the phrases "Love for number 3, Damar," and "Hamlin, strong." You can be sure that, like the rituals that these phrases accompany, they too are also replete with satanic symbolism as well. Let's take a deeper look. Here you see the Colts players carry out a tribute to their fallen comrade, Damar Hamlin. The Colts mascot is named Blue, a reference to Lucifer, the Blue Devil. Remember, we saw Obama connect himself with the Blue Devil as well. Number 3, Russell Wilson of the Broncos, and number 3, Derwin James of the Los Angeles Chargers also performed a tribute to Damar. The number 3, which is worn by both players, gives us the number 33, which connects back to the number worn by Saran Neal from the Buffalo Bills, who stood up while everyone else was kneeling when Damar was initially injured. Remember, Neal was born on August 4th, Obama's 33rd birthday. Since the letter C is the third letter, the number 33 gives us CC, which stands for the counterfeit Christ, who is the Antichrist. The number 33 also points to the age that Messiah was when he was crucified. The logo for the Chargers is the lightning bolt, which is a reference to the name Barak, which means lightning. The name Los Angeles is also a reference to the lost or fallen angels. The logo for the Broncos is a white horse, which is a reference to the rider on the white horse, as found in Revelation 6:2, thus pointing us to Barak as the Antichrist. The connection to Buffalo and the rider on the white horse also points back to the former Buffalo Bill, O.J. Simpson, in his low-speed chase in the white Bronco.
This is AC. I have OJ in the car.
Okay, where are you?
Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway.
Okay.
Right now, we are okay, but you gotta tell the police to just back off. He's still alive, but he got a gun to his head.
Which was driven by AC, a reference to the Antichrist, on the 5 freeway, a reference to the 5th angel, who is given the key to open the bottomless pit in Revelation 9:1. It is important to note that Mile High Stadium is the same place where Obama accepted his nomination for president as the rider on the white horse.
The huge crowd in Denver's football stadium exploded in applause as Barack Obama made history, becoming the first African American to accept a major party's nomination for president.
With profound gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States.
Obama gave his acceptance speech on August 28, 2008.
The system goes online on August 4, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States.
August 28, 2008, the 45th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, which was given in the District of Columbia, the light bearer in front of the Washington Monument, or Baal's shaft. The name MLK is also another name for Molech, the horned bull god, Baal, or Satan. This is the same false god that was worshipped at the Commonwealth Games in the UK. This false god was once again worshipped in Argentina when crowds gathered at the base of the Egyptian obelisk to celebrate Argentina's win at the World Cup, a reference to the whore of Babylon and the cup full of her abominations. Not only that, but the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, who won 6 rings as a reference to the Viking, 6 king, or 6 god, Saturn or Satan, also wore the number 45 when he returned from retirement. Just like the phrase, "I am Charlie," the phrase, "love for number 3, Damar," is a lying example of doublespeak, which is being used to deceive the world into unknowingly professing their love for the king of the bottomless pit. The number 3 in Strong's Concordance is Abaddon, the name of the angel prince of infernal regions, the minister of death, and the author of havoc on earth, as found in Revelation 9:11, which declares, "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue had this name, Apollyon." In the previous video, I told you that the name Damar actually means a torch made from resin, which points to Columbia or Lucifer, the light bearer. We also discovered that the second meaning for the name Damar is of the sea, which points to the beast that rises from the sea, as found in Revelation 13:1, which declares, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Therefore, the phrase, "love for number 3, Damar," actually means love for Abaddon, the king of the bottomless pit, the beast that rises from the sea. We saw a reference made to the beast that rises from the sea through another rapper who, like Kanye, also portrayed himself as a false savior, Kendrick Lamar, in his music video for the song N95. Like Damar, the name Lamar also means of the sea. Remember, Kendrick also met with Obama in the White House. He also had his own phrase, "I am all of us," which was attributed to someone named Oklahoma, which is actually a mixture of Kendrick Lamar and the name Obama. Keep this connection to Oklahoma in mind, as we'll come back to it in a moment. The name of Kendrick Lamar's song, N95, also points to the masks which were used by hospital workers during the pandemic. You may remember a while back, I told you that being crowned with the venom of the serpent was a reference to Obama being crowned as the serpent king of the bottomless pit. This was proven through the artwork on Nas's album, King's Disease, when it is juxtaposed against Obama's presidential portrait. Like Kanye and Kendrick, Nas also portrayed himself as a false messiah as well. Not only that, but the name Nas is short for Nahash, which means serpent in Hebrew. The connection with being crowned with the venom of the serpent and the false Christ or beast that rises from the sea doesn't end there. It is no coincidence that the year 2023 began with a report claiming that hospitalizations for those who have been crowned with the venom of the serpent are at their highest level due to a new ultra-transmissible variant called XBB 1.5, or the Kraken. As it turns out, the Kraken is also a legendary sea monster of enormous size said to appear off the coasts of Norway. Interestingly enough, The English word kraken comes from the Norwegian word krake, which means sea monster or octopus. Both words actually may even share the same etymology. This is important because the 8 arms of the kraken, beast from the sea or octopus, connects back to the 7 heads and 10 horns of the beast that rises from the sea in the book of Revelation, and ultimately points to the coming global world order. Now check this out. Back in 2013, NASA launched a spy satellite for the NOR, or National Reconnaissance Office. Notice their logo is that of the Kraken, with the phrase, "Nothing is beyond our reach." Well, wouldn't you know it, on August 4th, 2022, Obama's birthday, the NORL launched another spy satellite from New Zealand. According to reports, the payload will support the NOR to provide critical information to government agencies and decision makers monitoring international issues. The launch of these satellites form the technological network apparatus that acts as the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, peering down over the world, a literal eye in the sky. Clearly, there is a concerted effort to bring about the global government of Antichrist, the 7-headed, 10-horned beast that rises from the sea, and it is being connected with Barack Obama. But the hidden symbolism doesn't end there. On Tuesday, January 10th, the Miami Heat played against the Oklahoma Thunder, and during the game, Jimmy Butler set a record by taking and making 40 free throws without a miss. He made 23 of 23 from the free throw line. Now watch this. He was 40 for 40. The number 40 gives us the phrase 4-0, meaning this was for Obama. Also, 40 plus 40 equals 80, which is also B-O for Barack Obama in the Hebrew phrase, the lightning from heaven, as found in Luke 10:18. The Heat logo points to the fallen angel as well, as it depicts a halo above a celestial body engulfed in flames and falling from the heavens. The Heat were playing against the Oklahoma Thunder. The name Oklahoma connects back to Kendrick Lamar's Oklahoma. The name Thunder points to Thor, the god of thunder and lightning, and of course, the name Barack, which actually means lightning. On the night, Butler was 23 for 23, which points to the 23 chromosomes provided by the fallen angel, and the 23 chromosomes provided by a human mother.
This is no dream, this is really happening.
To form the Nephilim giant, as described in Genesis 6:4. Also, 23 plus 23 is 46, and points to Obama's reading of Psalm 46 on 9/11, where he declared himself to be God.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.
And connected himself with the king of the bottomless pit, as found in Revelation 9:11. Further, Ground Zero for 9/11 is the spot where the One World Tower was built as a reversal of Genesis 11:9 and the rebuilding of the Tower of Babel, or One World Government, which is the 7-headed, 10-horned beast that rises from the sea and is ruled by the Antichrist, as found in Revelation 13:1. The date of the game was January 10th, or 110. Strong's Concordance lists G110 as Athanasia, which means immortality and deathlessness. This points to the deadly head wound that the Antichrist, or beast that rises from the sea, receives and recovers from, as found in Revelation 13:3, which declares, "And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." The final score was 112 to 111. Strong's Concordance lists G112 as atheos, which means godless or ungodly. The ungodly or godless one is the Antichrist, as described in Daniel 11:37, which declares, "Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all." Strong's Concordance lists G111 as athemitos, which means an unlawful, abominable thing. The Antichrist is described as the lawless one in 2 Thessalonians 2:8, which declares, "And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming." He is also connected with the abomination that causes desolation, as found in Daniel 9:27, which declares, "And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate." The world is being prepared to worship the dragon and his Antichrist, the beast that rises from the sea, the little horn, and his one world government of 10 kings are preparing to make themselves known openly. This is being done because the world loves evil more than it does good, and a world like that will soon get what it continues to ask and pray for. Therefore, if you have not given your life to the Most High by accepting the blood sacrifice of the Paschal Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach, which was shed on the cross as a propitiation for the redemption of sins, the time to do so is now. Amen. Shalom.